Howdy hi again, folks. ProfessorSolo here, and today we're opening the portal between humans and data, the HTML form. This episode, Form Factor, dives into how we use forms to collect, validate, and transmit user input, the foundation of every single interactive web app. Once again, we have an overview video generated using NotebookLM based entirely on my own teaching notes. AI meets web dev education in action. Future, now, and always. If you'd like to follow along or poke through the examples, the repo link is down below. While you're there, go ahead and like, subscribe, and tap that little bell. It's the easiest input event you'll trigger all day. All right, let's get hands-on with Form Factor.
All right, code travelers, welcome. I'm T.A. Watt, Professor Solo's slightly over-caffeinated teaching assistant, and today we are jacking into one of the most powerful gateways in web development, the HTML form. Look, they're not just boring boxes on a page. They're portals to data, channels that connect your users' thoughts, clicks, and secrets right back to your app. So let's jack in. Okay, first things first. Before we build anything, we have to understand the journey. How does the information a user types into their browser actually get to your application? It's a simple process, but it is absolutely crucial. Here's the whole trip in a nutshell. 1. The user fills out the form. 2. They smash that submit button. 3. All that data gets bundled up and beamed over to a server. And 4. The server does its thing and sends a response back. That's it. That is the fundamental conversation between your app and the user. Right. Now to actually build our data portal, we need a few key building blocks. These are the core HTML tags that give the whole thing its structure. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the form tag. Think of it as the mothership. It has two critical jobs: the action attribute, which is just the URL where the data is going, and the method attribute, which says how it's going to travel. You'll mostly be using post, which sends the data tucked away safely in the request body. And now, please meet the MVP of accessibility, the label tag. This is non-negotiable, people. It gives a text description for an input, and, this is the key, you link them together using the for attribute on the label, which has to match the ID of the input. It's a tiny detail that makes a huge difference for usability. So what happens when your form starts to get a little busy? Well, you need to get organized. Fieldset is like a folder that groups related inputs together, and Legend gives that folder a name. It keeps your data portal from turning into a total mess. All right, buckle up. Time for a rapid-fire tour through the input multiverse. The input element is the true shapeshifter of HTML. It's one tag that wears a ton of different hats. First up, the basics. You've got your standard text input for a single line of text. Then there's the password type, which, cleverly hides what the user is typing. And for bigger thoughts, there's the mighty text area, which, get this, isn't actually an input type. It's its own separate tag, perfect for comments or messages. Now, let's talk choices. A checkbox is for when the user can be greedy. They can choose all that apply. Radio buttons, on the other hand, are for when there can be only one winner. The real magic that makes radio buttons work together is giving them all the same name attribute. Got a long list of choices? You don't want to clutter up the page, right? Well, that's what the select element is for. It creates a nice, clean drop-down menu, and each choice inside is just a simple option tag. But wait, you can level up that drop-down. Check this out. You can use the opt group tag to group related options together inside the menu. It creates these clear labeled sections, making it way easier for your users to find what they're looking for. It's a simple trick for a much better user experience. And finally, you need to make things happen. An input with a type of submit is your form's launch button. It sends all that precious data on its journey. And then you have reset. It's the nuclear option. It wipes the entire form clean. Use it wisely. Okay, let's pause. We need to get serious for a second. We have to talk about accessibility, and specifically the battle between labels and placeholder text. This isn't just a best practice. This is about having basic respect for all of your users. So listen up, because this is the most important thing you'll hear today. A label is permanent. It's always visible. Screen readers announce it. You can even click on it to focus the input. A A placeholder, on the other hand, it disappears the moment you start typing. It's often ignored by screen readers. It is just a hint, not a replacement for a real label. Let me just spell it out for you. Do not be a lazy developer. Using a placeholder instead of a label is a classic rookie mistake. A professional developer always uses a label and links it correctly, period. Okay, back to the fun stuff. Did you know that modern HTML gives your forms actual superpowers? You can build smart, self-checking forms without writing a single line of JavaScript. It's awesome. You've got all these amazing power-ups. Just add the required attribute and bam, the browser won't let the user submit an empty field. Use specific input types like email or URL, and the browser automatically checks the format. And for the real custom stuff, the pattern attribute lets you use regular expressions to build a mini firewall right inside your input. A functional portal is great, sure, but a portal that feels alive is way better. We can use CSS to give the user instant visual feedback as they fill out the form, making the whole experience feel more interactive and dynamic. So CSS gives us these secret weapons called pseudoclasses. You can use -focus to highlight the input field the user is currently typing in. And where it gets really cool is with -valid and -invalid. You can style the input with, say, a green border when the data is correct and a red one when it's wrong. Instant feedback. And when you put it all together, the solid semantic structure, the right input types, proper labels, and that little bit of CSS magic for feedback, you get this. A clean, well-structured, and genuinely user-friendly data portal. It's beautiful, isn't it? And you can get even fancier. With some clever CSS and smart HTML, your form can actually react to the user. Like here, selecting a specific option in a dropdown can make a whole new section of the form appear, asking for more information only when it's actually needed. No JavaScript required. And that's a wrap. The form is your portal to data. Every input, every label, every single click brings your user and your app a little bit closer. Now go forth, validate responsibly, and remember what Professor Solo always says, P.S. Keep learning.
All right, that was a lot of information. That wraps up form factor, portal to data. We covered form method in action, lots of inputs, types, labels, focus states, validation, and especially accessibility. All the bits, bobs, and bytes that turn a static form into a real conversation between users and servers. Notice how each input element defines how both structure and intent? Good form design isn't about cramming fields together. It's about guiding the user's journey through data. Keep your labels clear, your groupings logical, and your validation feedback instant. If this helped solidify your understanding of how we work with forms, hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite form trick, and subscribe for the next blast of WebDev TnT. Up next, we're getting our Git on and tabbing version control. Far better than appending final to your file name. Tune in, you won't want to miss it. P.S. Stay focused, be accessible, and don't forget to validate before you submit.